It all started back in 1607 with the first successful English settlement, Jamestown, Virginia, soon followed by Plymouth, Massachusetts. Over the next 130 years, cities developed, and in 1754, the entire East Coast was established as the 13 British colonies. The British were not the only ones establishing colonies. The French were starting their own colonies in the area now known as Canada. Then, the French and British started getting into arguments over territory. And then, from 1756 to 1763, the French and the Indians fought against the British and the colonists in the French and Indian War, also known as the 7 Years' War. The colonists and the British won the war. To make it official, the British and the French signed the Treaty of Paris in 1763. Not only did the treaty end the war, but it also granted the British control of the territory from the Mississippi River to the Appalachian Mountains. But the war had left the British with a bunch of debt, so they taxed the American colonists a lot. And then, in 1765, they passed the Stamp Act, and all important papers and documents needed to be produced in Great Britain and have a special stamp, and the American colonists had to pay for this too. Even with new territory, colonists were very angry that the British were robbing them of their hard earnings by making them pay unreasonable taxes on things like tea and postage. And there was nothing they could do about it because they didn't even have any representation in the British Parliament. They had had enough, so they decided to stop paying taxes completely. But they were just getting started. In 1773, 3 British ships delivering tea from the East India Tea Company were ambushed by colonists disguised as American Indians. They dumped all the tea into the harbor. This act of aggression went down in history as the Boston Tea Party. The British were steamed and started assembling troops to move against the American colonists. Paul Revere, a silversmith from Boston, received this top-secret information and jumped on his horse, warning, "The British are coming, the British are coming." The next morning, on April 19, 1775, the first attacks from the colonists against the British happened in Lexington, Massachusetts, with the shot heard round the world. This marked the start of the American Revolutionary War.